Hello, it's Serenity here, and I'm coming to you today with a lovely, lovely video on the topic, acting as if. What does acting as if really mean? At this present moment, I just put a bar in the air. I'm trying to enlarge this hole here to give myself maybe 14, 16 gauge hole. And at the moment, I'm acting as if it doesn't hurt. Acting as if. Hi, it's Serenity, and that was my British twin sister. Today, anyway, I am kidding around. I'm doing a video on acting as if, the topic acting as if, and as you can see, I was clearly acting as if, oh, I was British. But no, on a serious note, this is a serious topic that actually is very exciting for me. It's something that I've come across on one of my favorite blogs. It's Melody Fletcher's Deliberate blog, where it's based on actually deliberate receiving and laws of attraction principles and all of that sort of stuff. And I actually came across the topic acting as if because I go through all of the articles on there and I save them to my phone so that later on when maybe the kids are sleeping or my husband is watching TV or watching a DVD or something that I am so tired of watching that I can just go to and read and like occupy my time or actually pick up my mood sometimes. Sometimes I read some of the things before I even get out of bed in the morning to kind of give me a better mental focus. And so one of the topics that I had on there that I saved was acting as if. And many of us really know what acting as if means, but many of us just think of it as in a more superficial, shallow sense. We need to go deeper with this, and this is what this article has actually done. It digs deeper, and it shows you that it's not basically just acting as if. It is, for many people, I would say, like studying laws of attraction or deliberate receiving, creation, conscious creation, awareness, whatever you would like to call it. Mere visualization becomes kind of challenging sometimes because anyone can imagine having this big house or having $1 million, having a fancy car. The idea of actually visualizing these things, these wonderful things, is one thing, but it soon starts to feel as though just seeing them in your own mind's eye is not enough. That's not enough to just create this thing in reality now for you, is it? And this is the part where we kind of skip up and get discouraged sometimes. Like we know most of society, when things start to become a little bit challenging or we don't see ourselves elevating, we tend to just stop instead of keep pushing ahead when sometimes we're right on the brink of actual transformation or transcending. We stop. And so I'm here today to kind of give you a little bit of a encouragement on acting as if your visualizations become a little bit challenging or maybe has become boring for you or you're kind of losing faith in your visions. And we know that faith is really important. So now here it is, you're visualizing these great, wonderful things, and after a while you start to feel like you're delusional, like you're lying to yourself. You know, like, hey, come on, everyone could see I don't have a Porsche in my yard. Everyone can see that I don't have a mansion. I don't live on top of a hill with a golf course looking down on my lawn. You kind of feel a little cray-cray because you feel like you're just kidding yourself. And sometimes society kind of makes you feel like you're silly for being a dreamer. That, you know, you're just seeing these things that really are so far away from you, when it actually isn't. So remaining faithful and hopeful is, of course, key. And anyone who studies the laws of attraction, who is actually on a more conscious or spiritual level, knows that faith definitely can move mountains. But you can have astronomical levels of faith. You can sit down and you can picture your 2014 GMC Sierra in the front of your yard until you're 80 years old and emaciated and hunched back and look older than Larry King, and that does not mean it's going to appear. So then, what is it? How then can you actually effectively visualize more? How do you act as if properly? So this is what the actual article that I was reading taught me, that it actually revealed to me, showed me, opened my mind to seeing. And the truth I've learned is that you don't really act as if. That's it. Okay, well, you do and you don't at the same time. What it means is that really, even more than acting as if, we must feel as if. Yeah, feel as if. And when you feel as if, first, the acting as if part becomes as easy as pie afterward. What do I mean, feel as if? Many people actually confuse acting as if with pretending or lying to yourself or others, and kind of see material possessions and luxuries that they desire as goals, as you know, things they equate with their self-worth, as this is the thing that is actually going to deem me more important in life or in society, when it's not. It's in actuality, those things that you desire only represent the feeling we want to have, or the experiences that we want to have when we get them. Okay, some people may not understand this, so let me give you an example of what I mean. One of the things that I desire most is a nice home of my own, debt-free, right? At the end of the day, the home is not the goal. The home itself does not mean I've made it in life when it becomes a reality for me. The home itself is merely a representation of how I wish to feel when I am living in my own home, when this desire actually comes to pass. Let's dig deeper then. What does ownership of my own home, what would that represent to me in terms of feelings? How can I feel as if? What does home ownership have to do with feeling as if? For me, home ownership would make me feel, would represent to me now, a feeling of independence, would represent security, feeling of security for myself and my family, would represent, say, respect. Of course, we know that people kind of look more up to people who are homeowners as opposed to renters, because they feel like they put in a certain effort, they put in this hard work, they're dedicated, blah, blah. So somewhat respect would feel stable, sense of stability for myself and my family, self-reliant, because I know now that this is my own home. I've done the work, like I said. A feeling of actual structure, a feeling of comfort, a feeling of peace, peace of mind. Those are the feelings that home ownership would represent for me. So now, this is where a light bulb went off in my head. Now I see why some people actually act like they are God or goddesses when they finally reach the point of home ownership. Why? Because having a home was the only goal. Having this home, this thing to call their own. So the home itself was the goal. Not the feelings, associated with home ownership, not the experience of home ownership. The home itself was the marker that said, bam, you've made it in life. You've achieved. You're on top. And instead of realizing what experiences they wish to have when they are in their own home. So the home now becomes their marker of self-worth. So now if you put your hands on their white wall, they'll eat you alive because you're destroying their self-worth. You get what I'm saying? They are like tied now to this home. If something was to ever happen to this home, their life would be over. They would be devastated because this home represents who they are. And that's the whole point that Melody Fletcher is trying to show us, that the things, the actual tangible things that we desire do not represent who we are. They represent things we wish to experience. They represent feelings that we wish to experience. So now this home, instead of it being a place of comfort, a place of joy, a place of peace, a place of serenity, a place of security, it becomes almost like you're walking on pins and needles when you go in there, because you know that if you touch the wrong thing or something breaks, oh my gosh, all hell breaks loose. And this is where we need to move our kind of mental standpoint. We need to change the way we look at these things. The home itself is not the goal, it's the experience, it's the feelings that we wish to accomplish, to achieve. So when you learn to feel those very feelings, now the feelings of security that now home, like I said, home ownership would represent for me, when you learn to feel those things now and experience those things now, the feeling of security, the feeling of self-reliance, the feeling of independence, the feeling of being respected, the feeling of comfort, the feeling of peace, the feeling of maybe love, family, coming together. You learn to feel these feelings now, stability, all of these wonderful things. That's when you're on your way to manifesting all of the actual abundance that you desire. Because it is then that you can really act as if. It's only when you feel as if that you can then act as if. And without kidding yourself. It's then that you can create. You start creating the structure. You start creating the independence. You start creating the self-reliance, the peace, the comfort, the structure, the stability, the joy, the love, the independence. You start creating this now because you're feeling that way right now, instead of it being later, instead of having to have this home to start feeling that. And this is what's going to actually bring you to a higher vibrational frequency in more alignment with the universe now, syncing up with you, giving you what it is that you desire, because you're moving from a higher level. And like I said, acting as if is just simply acting as you would feel when you have the certain thing that you desire. What a great revelation is that. What a great revelation. I love this, and I just thought I'd share it with you guys. So thanks, Melody, and thank you for watching my video today. I hope I kind of helped to change your perception of what acting as if really means. I hope you enjoyed my video. And until next time, I don't know why my little girl is screaming in there at Peter Rabbit. But anyway, until next time, I'm going to go check up on her. I'm going to come back maybe later, maybe tomorrow, I don't know, whenever it hits me, with another great video. So until then, peace and love. And I'd like to say bye-bye. Until later. Cheerio.